to the topic of the discussion and hit the issues you typically find reluctant. Remove the facade to fill the gap with some substance. We undermining problems, expecting to overcome it. Please hold the applause. We doing it for the cause. People follow culture before they follow the laws. We rather face the friction and not attempt it at all. Persistence will find solutions once our contentment dissolves. There's a hard pill to swallow for anyone breathing, both for folks who stay woke and those who be dreaming. We ain't slaves, yet we still ain't experienced freedom. What we need is the keys to access the kingdom. We're all in this fallen world trying to stay intact. I'm just a beggar, point you out to where the bread is at. So follow the breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel. Thank Yogi Bear and the thought engineer for that on
Well. It is Man Talk Monday once again. Devil is busy once again.
Hey man, listen, I got paintings and dancing stuff behind me. I'm in my wife's office, and this was you gotta do what you do, man, to bring the show to the people.
Oh yeah, got to get the people what they want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Made it to another Monday, man. I'm Derek, the thought engineer, here with my man, comedian John Yogi. How you feeling today, man?
Hey man, I am ecstatic. I'm happy even. I don't know if that's right, but that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling good, man. I feel like we got a great show, and I feel like anytime you have something that's really good, there's going to be obstacles.
Yeah.
We are fighting obstacles. I can't wait to get to it, man.
Well, let me just let the people know. This is Man Talk Mondays. It's an open forum where we talk about everything from religion to politics to relationships. But of course, we're doing it from a man's perspective. Now, keep in mind, this is not just for men. We want everybody to join in with the conversation. No matter where you are, whoever listening, you are part of the conversation. So please feel free. Drop your comment, drop your question. We can see this. This is how you talk to us, but we want you to talk to us, right? So don't forget that. And I think you probably have a lot to say tonight. So we want to hear from you. Before we get into all of that, first things first, Man Talk Monday News.
This is John D. Blackman, and tonight's top story. Ain't nobody told me nothing. I just found out that the law was passed for Juneteenth to be a holiday. How about I worked all day and my job didn't say nothing? They was in there like this. We ain't opening our mouth. Listen, with the way everything gets around social media, you mean to tell me can't nobody let me know that it's a holiday I'm supposed to be off? I'm firing everybody on social media. I'm going to hire other people next week. This is your man, John D. Blackman, very upset about missing my holiday for Juneteenth. Good evening and good night.
So they didn't let you know about Juneteenth, man. They ain't let John know about Juneteenth. I know, man.
We just worked to work, and everybody said nothing. We ready to go home. They talking about they didn't tell you about Juneteenth, did you? No, they didn't.
Right. National holiday, Juneteenth. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, like, share, subscribe. We want you to be aware of everything that we're doing as far as the show is concerned. We have our podcast available. You can catch it on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, all those other platforms. You can catch it. So make sure you go back. We drop a new episode every week. So it's there for your listening pleasure. So you can always go back and check out check those out at your leisure. Before we get into all of this, there's a few things that's going on that is crazy. This is our segment, Man Talk About It. We got a couple of things to talk about. First things first. I don't know if people know or not, but Governor Abbott is now looking at using prisoners to build this wall that Trump proposed.
So what is he gonna do? Is he gonna go in and ask the prisoners, hey, if y'all free today after child, can y'all help me go out and build this wall? What in the Neptune is going on?
Hey man, that's free labor, or at least cheap labor.
That's the first thing I thought about, but you can't, can you?
Hey, this is more incentive to lock people up too.
Well, they ain't really need no incentive by locking people up. I mean,
they didn't, but they just finding more reasons. It's gonna get real ugly with this whole. Yeah, if we do that, it's gonna get real ugly.
Yeah, really. When I heard it, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But hey, they had a wall finished before they had a road on 75 finished though.
Oh man, these roads, they'll never catch up with these roads, man. Too many people coming in, so they'll never catch up with them. But yeah, it's cheap labor when you get prisoners, man.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Speaking of labor, so Amazon is not requiring people to have a urine test before they hire them now. They said, we don't care if you're smoking, we don't care. Come on, we need you to work.
Hey, everybody's going to get stuff from everywhere.
Right.
Hey, let's see, what people don't do with that kind of stuff, they take it too far. Because they're going to be doing some of everything. They're going to be sleep on the conveyors. They're going to be sleeping in the trucks. They're going to be laid out. See, you got to be careful how you say, hey, we ain't tested. Because we going to push it to the max.
Right. That's what smoke break going to take a whole new meaning at Amazon. That smoke break going to be live. Ain't nobody coming back after lunch. Are they gonna come back too full, sleeping? Yeah. It's gonna be all the way live at Amazon, bro. All the way live. Everybody gonna be working at Amazon.
Hey, when you go to lunch, it's gonna be lunch for real. They're gonna be looking for you for lunch for real. That's that.
And they're gonna pay them cheap because all they looking for is another bag of weed. So there's like, hit them with a quick $20.
I don't understand why you just don't tell them. You just bring them to the interview and don't tell them. You just say, okay, we want you to pay this cup, and you don't do nothing with the cup. Let them be scared at least for a couple days. Let them get clean for a few days before they start back.
Right. Nah, man, that's too much like right.
Yes, it is.
And for speaking of people getting hungry, people get the munchies. Hope you don't want no wings. Because there is a wing shortage. I don't know if chickens are being born without wings now or something, but there's a wing shortage. So your hot wing is gonna be real expensive now.
Like hot wings ain't high enough, bro. For 5 whole wings, they charge you $13 for it, bro. They gonna be like gold. It's the price of gold gonna be right there next to them, bro. And they talking about thighs. I don't want thighs. Thighs is junk food. I don't want thighs. They're too greasy. I don't want no thighs.
The only time I can eat thighs is when you get them barbecue leg quarters. That's about the only time I can eat them.
And they got to be connected to the leg.
They got to be connected. But if they by themselves, man, it's the rejected piece of chicken. I'm telling you.
Wait, what kind of person don't cut that up? Who hands a kid a leg quarter? He'll be eating on that the rest of the day, dude. Who does that to a kid, man?
Hey, man, let him run around, give him a leg quarter. You won't hear from him no more that evening.
Exactly.
At all. You won't hear from him at all.
Not at all, man.
It's some woman sued the government. What?
Well, see, what happened was the governor said, hey, listen, we're tired of y'all not going back to work. And so, because if we giving y'all unemployment and stuff, y'all not going back to work. And so they took this one lady's and she tried to sue the government to get them back. Now, I don't have no problem with that until I saw the lady. And when I saw the lady, I was like, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Hey man, these people living high off the hog with this unemployment, man.
No, they're making more money than they would be at some of the jobs out there, man.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go to work either. You know, that's why they're having such a difficult time filling a lot of positions, because people saying they're not going back to work.
Yeah. Everything getting higher. I mean, what was that? American Airlines.
Yeah,
canceling like 50 to 60 flights a day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's real bad about, they made that unemployment too attractive. Too attractive.
Yeah, you don't supposed. Hey, they able to flouse on it. Unemployment was never meant for you to be flousing.
Oh man, dude. But yeah, that is saying something about how they really not paying people. Because if you can live better on unemployment than you can working your job, that's something wrong with that.
Something real wrong with that. Mm-hmm.
That's definitely something wrong with that. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget it. Man, talk about it. We do. If you want to have a problem situation, you can call us. I mean, not call us, but you can email us. Don't call us. You can email us at Man Talk Mondays. Just send your email to mantalkmondays1@gmail. If you got something that you want us to talk about, something that's on your heart. If you need prayer, no.
Go somewhere else if you need prayer. If you need
go ahead and send it in to mantalkmondays1@gmail. And we'll keep everything anonymous. Don't worry about it. We won't tell your business, you know what I'm saying? So you can let us know what's going on and we'll talk about it. Let you know how we feel, maybe get a man's perspective on it. That's what we do, right? Right?
That's what we do.
It's all about the man's perspective. So I hope my fellas are ready out there. I need my men to show up tonight. So ladies, get your husband. But let them get their cell phone and go to the other room. Though y'all don't need to be in the same room for this, right? But
ain't going nowhere.
So what we want to get into tonight, our bed ain't rocking anymore. I think was it BB King? The thrill is gone. The thrill is gone away. Wasn't that BB?
It ain't clacking like it used to.
So, married people, whatever you in, the relationship you in, has things seem to decline for you physically. The physical activity ain't popping like it used to. It's not going on like it used to.
Well, I think anytime we are in a relationship, I think it's easy for us to take each other kind of for granted. Whether we want to or not, I just think it's human nature to kind of know that when I come home or when I call her or him, he gonna be there. So we kind of, I think we kind of take each other for granted, and because we do that, we slow up on the how do I say, on the bouquet. We slow up. We slow up on it. We don't bring it to bed no more, or we wait for the other one to go to sleep. I know Mom looking there and see if I was asleep, and then she would go back in the living room until and then peek back when I was asleep. She would come and get to bed. I'd be like, "Hey, what time you came to bed?" She's like, "I came in here. You were asleep already. I came in here. I was looking for you." I was like, "Huh, okay, yeah, absolutely."
Abigail say we get too comfy.
Abigail, tell me it doesn't happen. Tell me it don't happen to women as well, because I know with guys happen with us. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying.
She say we tired. That's why we tired a lot.
Look, wait a minute. But you wasn't tired when we first got together, or you was just desiring me so much. I was just so. You just all I do is just think about you. I just sit on the phone and I just can talk to you all night just like this, and I get to see you. And I ain't sleepy. We can talk for 2 days. But once you get used to me, now you sitting there like this.
So I guess tired means I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you.
That's what it means.
Right. I think that's what it is. I'm tired of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think you're right.
So, true or false? when you get married, you can have sex all the time. True or false?
Trouse.
You said Trouse. Combination? Okay.
Trouse, because it's true that you are supposed to, because your body does not belong to you anymore. It belongs to we. We are one. We are supposed to be one. Generally, that's not how it happens, though.
Yeah.
As soon as we get together, as soon as we get married, after a couple of years, I'm going to give newlyweds and younger people, I'm going to give you I don't want to say 5 years, I guess. 5 years before, after 5 years, like 5 years.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. Shawanda says men have to still do the mood settings too.
Listen, Shawanda, let me tell you something. When we first started dating, I didn't have to set the mood in. I just could look over there at you, and you could look at me, and I had to beat you out for me. Now you telling me that it starts when I get up in the morning, and if you don't talk to me right, I don't be ready. By the end of the day, you gotta have my mood and all. Girl, bye. You better get in there, pull them clothes off, and get in that room and do like you supposed to do. Talking about, you don't get in that room right now. After the show, you get in there after the show.
So, because I've heard this plenty of times. You got to start during the day, kind of setting the mood, like she said. You know, it's this whole thing of, you got to call them during the day. You got to, send them nights. I love you, the text, and all of that. And here's the thing: you can do everything right up to that evening. One thing
I say one thing wrong, you gonna put the booty up, put it on the shelf.
Erase all of that all that work you to put in.
Not one day. These girls going weeks at a time for something that you did. If y'all don't stop the foolishness already. See, I'm getting ahead of y'all don't borrow time and you just don't know it. You just don't know it. You don't borrow time, but you just don't know it now. And don't be Shawan, don't be talking about no wow. It ain't no wow. I'm just telling you, you better get in there and do something to start with wow, and that's now. Get up in there right now.
He said change the wow to now. But men feel like they get duped, hoodwinked.
Well, the funny thing is we don't even realize today we so in love till you can do us like that for 2 to 3 years and we don't even know what done happened. We don't even know what done happened. We look up and it be like, oh man, we ain't even been together in like 2 months. Cause you so much in the clouds, you don't even realize that you've been put on an every other month schedule. You don't even realize. You're like, whoa, man, I thought, well, is anything wrong? No, ain't nothing wrong. I'm good. You're good. I think I'm good.
Jesse says, that's what y'all young people do. What you talking about? We want to know. Let's clarify that a little bit. Let us know what you're talking about. What the young people do.
So wait, so when you get older, you don't have the desire to no more. What's that? Is that what he's saying?
I don't know. That's what I wanted to clarify. So what to say is when you were dating, that was an interview. Now you have the job. Continue to work on both sides. He said on both sides.
I'm just saying, but see, women think they are the supervisors and the men are the employees. No. That's not it. We gotta work this thing together. It's a partnership. Nobody should ever go to bed frustrated because somebody don't want to do it.
Okay.
Nobody. Because it's gonna be a time in your life where you're not gonna be able to. You're gonna want to. And you're gonna always have to reminisce to my boy. I remember back when I was boy. I'm just saying, man, life is too short. Nobody should go to bed upset. Not about nothing that's gonna take 10 minutes.
Hey, Jason said, when you get a little older, bro, you ain't got time for all that. You just get to it. Sounds like a man of wisdom there.
Listen, when you younger, you don't have. It don't take. Listen, man. At the end of the day, we got a destination we're trying to get to, both of us. So intelligent people try to find the fastest way to get to that destination. It's a race. It's a race.
Yeah.
And we losing, D. And we losing.
Yeah. And how much time do you need? I mean, we know how much time we need. How much time you need? Maybe there's some negotiation that needs to take place. We can meet somewhere in the middle. We can do some negotiation.
I just don't understand. To be honest, I don't understand. A lot of time we spend fussing over sex. Dude, and I say this often. We could be done. We could be done in the time that we spend talking about it. As a matter of fact, you wouldn't even have to look at me. You can look right over at the TV. Girl, next thing you know, when you get through, you'll be twisted off. But hey, it don't take that long. It don't take that long, man.
So I want some women to let me know what is the reason for the decline. I want some women to answer that for me. What's the reason for the decline? Because we've always heard what it took to get the person. That's what you can take to keep them.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true. I think the willingness of wanting to satisfy the other person is gone. See, because at first, man, all you could think about was her and making her happy. Well, the more we sell into relationships, we get more selfish. Oh, no, I'm going to do this for me. Well, now I don't feel like it. Well, before it was all about him or her. That's what's wrong.
Yeah.
The more comfortable you get, the more selfish you get.
Yeah, you know you got them locked in now, and that ought to be abuse, right? Shouldn't there be abuse?
What's abuse? Anything turning blue off the wire should be abuse, brother. You get something. This should be because it's too easy. It's too easy.
Yeah. Selena say it's a marathon, not a race.
I don't know what marathon she running.
And to Selena's point, we got the Olympics coming up this summer, right?
Yeah.
How many people watch the marathon? Everybody there for the sprints, baby. Everybody there for the sprints. Everybody showing up for the marathon.
Everybody trying to be part of the marathon, man. Tell me in the morning.
They quick, they fast, they exciting.
Hey, you get through, you're like, hey, everybody do it. Come on, man.
Okay, Tarsha said it decline in what sex? Yes. What's the reason for the decline in sex? Women? What are the reasons why you would withhold? Let us know that. We help some men out. So you want to educate us? Let us know what are the reasons why women withhold.
They ain't got to have no reason. They ain't got to have no reason. Now you trying to make them think and do something that they don't want to do when it comes to withholding. They don't have to have no reason. They just don't want to. They don't feel like it. They ain't no reason. We don't have to do nothing. They bait us. They bait us and make us think we done did something and say, you know what? Enough for you. Come on.
Tarsha said, Tarsha throwing up the X's. No,
I'm telling you.
Listen, you got some people out here struggling, and they need to know. So maybe some women can give some insight to help the men out. Let us know why women withhold. You got some women talking about I don't withhold.
Lie.
Hey,
Lie.
Let us ask your husband that.
See there.
That's who we gotta talk to.
Cause you gonna listen, women ain't y'all fault. Y'all be lying, y'all don't even know it. Y'all mean, but y'all just, y'all that's just from the end y'all DNA. Y'all just lie.
So Mr. Reggie says if we hold out, it's a problem. If we as men hold out, that's a problem. What happened with men hold out? The
bed finna get turned over. And nobody finna get no sleep, and she gonna swear it's somebody else.
Yes, that's the question. Who is she? Who is she?
And you know what I tell me? You don't know her.
She used to be you.
Dude, tell me I'm wrong, dude. Tell me I'm wrong. They don't act the fool. And you know why they act the fool? Because it's been a long time for them like it have us. And they ready now. Oh, now you put up with anything I say I do because you ready now. Girl, if you don't get out of here and leave me alone.
So Latasha says, I'm not withholding nothing.
I'm a ask. We need to get her husband on here because I'm sick of these women coming here talking about they don't be doing nothing wrong.
Hey, and the husband's not getting on saying nothing just in case tonight is not.
And they look at him like, you know, man, say that.
They don't have anything to say.
They got nothing to say. They got nothing to say.
All right, so Flavor says women don't like eating the same dish every day. There has to be a variety in the ingredients, cook time, and the time needed for the dish to cool off. Spice it up, man. Add passion, variety, spontaneity.
You know what? This is what I'm sick of right here. Everything you want from somebody else, you got to be willing to do first. Don't come in here telling me what I need to be doing and how I need to put some spice on it. Ninja, you better put some spice on it if you want some spice. I like my food no salt, no season. So if you like that, you better get up in here and do all that stuff you're talking about. Show me what you want. Don't sit back and talk about you supposed to be in tune with me. You should know what I want. Girl, you don't bend over and come on here so we can get this thing done.
Be the change you want to see. Be the change.
Am I tripping? Somebody tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, Reggie said, I thought we were in a microwave society. You talking about preheat ovens and baking for 30, 40 minutes.
And all that. They don't do that no more. They don't do that no more.
So we got patience for we don't have patience for nothing else, but now we gotta have patience.
Dude, when it comes to something that they control, they want you to have patience with it.
Also, they control it.
You think they don't when they do? You think they don't when you think they don't? If you don't, every man, if you don't believe your wife controlling it, tell us, hey baby, let's go right now. Boy, if you don't get out of here quick playing, if you don't get out of here, it ain't Saturday, it ain't your birthday, it ain't holiday. If you don't get up out of here right now,
it ain't anniversary. We ain't on vacation.
If you don't get out of here right now.
So ladies say, first of all, we ain't putting in more than we get out. Nope. Then where's the sacrifice? Where's the sacrifice?
They ain't gonna have none. If there's gonna be any sacrifice, it's gonna be us that sacrifice. Cause if she telling me that every time somebody you come in there, she's like, bet, let's do this. No, you lying. You lying. And they talking about, well, sometimes I'll be tired. You listen. Y'all don't give men enough credit to know what they feel what y'all are going through. We know when y'all need some good loving. We know it. Girl, come here. I'm looking at you. You need some good love. Come here. I don't feel like, yes, you do. You do feel like it. Stop telling yourself you don't because you do feel like it.
So Tarsha says, so are you saying do men never turn it down? It's not that men don't turn it. Do we ever have a chance to?
That's all I'm saying. That's all. And and ask Tasha this. And if he does, is our hell gonna break loose if he does?
Yeah.
Because we scared to turn it down because it ain't come back around for 3 more months. You can get it.
They say a bird in the hands, worth 2 in the bush.
I don't really feel like it, but I better go on. It's sure to be a spell around here if I don't do this now.
So lady talking about that ain't my testimony.
Oh, everybody gonna say that, Slade. Give me something that I can use in the show. That ain't nothing I can use. Everybody gonna say it about their own story because you writing it. You writing your story. You gonna make yourself out to be the hero, and you ain't no hero. You're a villain.
So, is it something that happens with the expectations after a while? Because we heard spice it up and all of this. So, when the expectations change, is that communicated? Do women communicate the expectation change, or are we just supposed to guess that the expectation is changed?
I don't think we're supposed to guess the expectation change. I think what happens is they slowly move the goalpost from us. Where it was 2 or 3 times a week, and they pull it back, then it's twice a week, then they pull it back, then it's once a week, and before we know it, it's twice every 2 weeks, it's twice every 3 weeks, and when we don't, and we're not paying that much. To be honest, men not that smart when it comes to most things, but we smart when it comes to sex. We know how much sex we had. Our life revolves around how much sex we done had. And we notice when you put it in the way, rather than fight and argue about it, we just let you do it. We just let you do it, and we get used to you doing it.
Yeah. And truth be told, there's a lot of dynamics to marriage. There's a lot of dynamics. Anytime you're in a relationship for any long period of time, the dynamics change after time. So when they change, it seems like people spend more time trying to guess what's happening, and nobody's talking about what's happening.
What's really going on? Yes.
So
yes.
Why are people talking about what's happening though? Why wouldn't a woman say, hey, just want to let you know, it's getting a little dull, it's getting a little boring. I'm just putting it out there. You know, what you do with it, that's on you, but just want to let you know, I kind of need a little something different.
Okay, so this is what I get when you, okay, so if you come to me and she tell me, I'm going to say, okay, so what you want? If I got to tell you, it ain't no fun. Girl.
So now you say so. You say, if I got to tell you, ain't no fun, it's not the same.
But I can't read your mind. I don't know, because what I may like, you may not like. What I think is spontaneous, I may try to throw you off the top rope or something, and you may not like that. I may try to pick you up and slam you, and then you may not like that. I may try all these things. You be looking at like, no, I didn't really think you was gonna cuss me out. I thought we were just gonna. I didn't think you was gonna choke me out. I'm trying. Because I don't know. I don't know what you want. I'm trying to figure it out.
So ladies, what's wrong with letting your husband know what you want? What's the problem with that? Y'all let me know. What's the problem with that?
They want us to be in one with them, D. They want us to be, if he know my heart, then he should know what I want him to do. He needs to become one with me. I am trying to become one with you, but you won't be quiet and come on.
So you holding up progress.
Are we gonna do this or what?
Good. All right. So Selena says nope. Open communication is open in the bedroom or otherwise. Say what you want and need, men and women. So now she's talking about men and women. But women, are you saying what you need? And I asked the men, how comfortable are you expressing what you need?
Okay, you can express. Everybody can express what they need, but ultimately it's up to the partner whether or not they're going to fulfill those needs. What if it's something that you just don't like doing? What? I knew you were gonna say something about that. I don't like that. Because this, it ain't like this don't happen. You're not gonna agree with everything that we bring to the table, and we're not gonna agree with everything you bring that you may want. But so there lies the compromise. What's going to be done and what's not going to be done.
Yeah, but I think the misconception, or not misconception, but us people thinking that it's going to ruin the spontaneity, it's going to ruin all of that if I tell you. And so things don't go communicated. But when stuff is not communicated, the wrong signals are communicated.
It's true.
Because people start making assumptions off what they're not getting.
Yes. Yeah.
So I can tell women, if you, for whatever reason, if you got a problem with your husband, when you start withholding from him, men have to tell themselves or reprogram themselves not to want you as much.
You got to tone it down some. And now it's funny that's true. We have to condition ourselves to know, okay, well, I just whenever she come in here or whenever she wants it, I just be ready to give it to her. But after a while, that even stops. And it's just so much. It's just so big, so much, man.
Yeah, you got to be careful because now if he has to train himself, because if he has an urge and it's not being a need that's not being met, then I have to tell myself or train myself not to want that, because you don't want him searching other places.
Yeah.
So a good man gonna tone it down. He gonna figure out a way to just. And now, when you want him to turn it back on, it's not there like it was before.
Why am I so attractive when you think somebody else want me? Why am I so much more desirable than you? Why the floodgates open now that you see somebody peeking over the fence? What is that about? It's y'all just like to know that somebody else want what you want? Or what is it? Another dog sniffing around the porch? Please, somebody help me. What makes us so much more attractive when somebody else finds us desirable?
That's a good question. So, if any ladies want to chime in on that one, so what is it about another woman showing interest in your man that makes you now want to make sure he good? I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting.
Listen, man. Listen. Because everybody don't really have time for the fools today. Listen, don't y'all be putting that fools in these comments. Don't you get this? I'm simply saying everybody wants their spouse to be desirable, but they shouldn't have to be desirable to somebody else before you find them attractive. That's the person that you found them attractive once upon a time.
Okay, so Shawanda said territory. Men do the same thing.
But we ain't talking about men. We talking about you, Shawanda.
So what do men do if they see another man showing interest in their woman? What do men normally do?
I don't think it's nothing that we do anything.
That's what I'm trying to think. What is it that we do in that situation?
Because women don't have the same problem that we do. Once we get married and we get sell in, we aren't as desirable to other people because we sell into being married. Men always trying to get women. They don't have you seen some of these folk out here? If you hadn't go to the beaches, they have on two pieces. Women have to fight guys out. We don't have that. That don't happen with us. Women are always approached.
So I heard somebody say something one time, and it kind of makes sense to me. They say women are the gatekeepers to sex, but men are the gatekeepers to relationships. So that's a word for typically that's a word for single people. This is the reason why you run into issues because women hold the key to whether it's going to happen or it's not. But when it comes to relationships, it's something a woman would typically want before a man, and he says yes or no to the relationship.
And that's when we have the most control. When you're trying to get us in the relationship, it's normally when the floodgates, you can't get them shut. It just comes from everywhere. Now, I don't know. That's when it's coming everywhere because you're trying to get us in a relationship.
Monique said maybe they needed a light reminder, talking about people acting right once somebody else starts sniffing around. Why you need a reminder?
Somebody, if she put a smiley face, I don't appreciate the smiley face. This ain't funny.
So the light reminder, it takes somebody else sniffing around to wake somebody up. How do we get so comfortable and complacent with people?
I don't know how we do. It's just it's actually very. Because again, we kind of take each other for granted. I think it's human nature that if somebody's there every day, You just you tend to take it more for granted than somebody you got to run around and chase.
So to Selena's point earlier, if this is something that happened, how do you get the flavor back? How do you get the spice back if this is something that happens? If we don't get comfortable and complacent with each other, how do you kick it back in gear?
Well, first of all, you guys have to admit that there is an issue. There's a problem. We have to admit, hey, listen, we might be falling into some complacency. We need to do something. You get on your game, and let me get on mine, and see if we can get this fire lit back with us. Because it's intentional. It's not going to be anything that's just going to happen. You have to do that with intention.
Yeah. But that means you got to be aware. And typically, when that other person come around, that kicks that awareness back in. Oh, wait. Maybe I'm not doing some stuff I need to be doing. So Tarsha say, seriously, we aren't doing something right if we allow them to take their attention away from the house. But if you're not on guard, it's just like, because we fall into routines very easy. We love routines. People love routines. So if you got work, you got other things that you're involved in, especially like church, and then when kids involved, routine is very easy to get locked into a routine.
That is a great point, because life will allow you to get into a routine, and whereas you used to check the front door and back door before you went to bed, now all of a sudden you're not checking those things anymore because you put something in that place. And we will pick up stuff all the time that we can do. We will pick up, so I can do this, I can do that. Well, something is, you're sacrificing something in that. And if it's the front door, like you said, boy, that is an outstanding point. If the front door ain't guarded, people, it ain't on your watch. People, somebody just walk in.
Right. You're absolutely right. So Selena said date nights, vacations, spontaneity,
conversations.
Now, let me let Selena know something. Here's the problem with men and spontaneity. This is the problem. We don't want to come up with something y'all don't like because we don't want to hear it. Because you're not rejecting a plan, you're rejecting something we came up with.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on how you are with the relationship, you're not just gonna say, "Oh, babe, I appreciate you." If your first response is, "What is this?" Trouble.
Ew. I don't want to do
Trouble.
Yeah.
Trouble. Okay, so you say vacation. Vacations are great because you get off, you get by yourself, all the distractions are gone for a few days, the whole nine.
Mm-hmm.
But what if I don't pick the right place to go to vacation? What if we go to the Gaylord and have a staycation, but you wanted to go to Jamaica or the Bahamas?
Mm-hmm.
All I said was, I'm taking you on vacation. It's going to be a surprise. It's spontaneity, right? But then we end up at the Gaylord and you like,
I want to use a word. Yeah, you're right. But I think with the date nights and everything, I think all that is great. But man, I think all of it starts with conversation, D. Real talk. I think, man, people say conversation is the most important thing in the topic is the most important thing in a relationship. Man, that is so true because there are so many things. There's so many moving parts to conversation. There are so many moving parts to conversation because in your relationships, you're going to go through peaks and valleys. And you need to be talking to each other about the peaks and valleys that you're going through because you're supposed to be going through them together. And a lot of times you're not. You're going through them by yourself, and the spouse is trying to figure out what in the world is going on with you.
So Jeff say, to me, this depends because priorities change as time goes on. The family starts growing and roles change. Now the relationship gets lost in translation, and he don't want you no more, and she doesn't appreciate him. So I can understand. Both parties are too prideful to fix it, because in 2021 it's so easy to throw it away.
Wow.
Now Jeffrey got a point, because a lot of people are falling for the grass is greener a lot more now than they were before. They falling for it a lot more now. Why are people falling for the grass is greener a lot more now?
Yeah, it is. Because leaving is on the plate. Whereas if it's not on the plate, you can't pick that if it's not on the plate. That's not one of the choices we have in the restaurant. I know you like filet New York, but we don't serve that. We got steak and potatoes. That's it. So you can't pick that. It's on the plate. That's why people picking it. That's why people looking around because separation is on the plate.
Yeah. So Selena says, if you know us, we'll like it. The word says, deal with your spouse according to knowledge. Right. So dealing with your spouse according to the knowledge could be, let me ask, because I know if it ain't what she wants, we gonna trip. That could be a dealing with according to knowledge too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm trying to figure out why y'all get on her and y'all act like y'all the easiest going people, and if he just put one rose at the door, that'll be enough for me. You lying. That ain't enough for you. You more than that. You high maintenance and you a headache most of the time. But we're not gonna tell you that.
Oh no.
You're just gonna do what you want. So please, y'all, don't get on this show with me and act like you are the easiest going person. And in the house would be good for me. Girl, you lie. You want to go somewhere. You've been in the house for almost 2 years. You mad because you can't go nowhere.
So we need to hold a class. We need to hold a class for men. How to hear what she's not saying.
And I need to hold a class.
How to hear what she's not saying.
Wait. If I can hold one for them to say how to hear what he's not saying. If he looking at you when he walking by and he looking at you like he did when y'all was 17, 18, that means something.
Right.
Don't you laugh it off. Don't you ignore it. Don't you go, boy, you crazy. No, I ain't crazy. No, you know what that means. Don't ignore it. Because if you want us to be more attentive to you, you got to start being more attentive to us.
Which goes to say, this is where the complacency gets in. We're not paying attention to each other. And the whole time, things are happening on both sides. Men are going through things. Women are going through things. And because we're not communicating, we start taking what the other person does personally. If you have a man, and men that get into their late 30s, 40s, and on, physically go through things. They physically go through things, and they're not the same men as they were before sexually. But if you don't talk to them, you start thinking that he's rejecting you. But he's not rejecting you. He has a physical problem that he has going on.
What D is trying to say? We ain't gonna be no half hour, 45 minutes with y'all. Y'all better come on and get this 5-10 so we can get up out of here and go to sleep now. Listen, when the body starts changing and the different levels change, things change for me. He might not be able to tell you that. He might think that you're gonna look down upon him or frown upon him. But let things change, and you gotta be willing to have the conversation so she knows, hey, listen, I ain't got 45 minutes. I ain't got 45. You'll be good to get 45.
Monique said we need a class of women. Mika said we can get a class of women too. Mika and Monique, this is class. Man, talk money. This is class.
They don't listen. They gonna be trying to
y'all. What's going on?
She gonna be trying to tell the teacher. She gonna be trying to tell the teacher what to do. Nah, that ain't right. Because if he don't do this, then I ain't do that. That's what they gonna be doing.
Listen. Now, here's the thing. If a man is telling you there's a problem, you got to listen. You got to listen. You can't just say, oh, boy, you just whatever. Because typically if he says something, you don't know how much courage he had to muster up to tell you. And so that's a fragile thing happening in that moment. And if you don't take it right, if you don't respond to it right, he will shut all the way down. All the way.
And you need to know this too. While y'all not feeling like it and got your back trying to go and sleep, those probably some of the best years that you're gonna have. Those some of that you might be sleeping away or saying no to some of the best time you could be getting with him or her. And y'all being foolish by saying, we got plenty of time. You may not have plenty of time at that level. Because there's levels to that thing. There's levels to dynamite, and there is it's just all right, and there is, boy, what in the world is going on with you?
Right.
I'm just saying.
There has to be communication in this. There has to be communication. And listen, a lot of women, a lot of wives don't know these men are suffering right now. And I'm not saying lighthearted suffering because you ain't getting them none, because adjusting to changes, that can be hard. Just as hard as it is. Hold up. What is this thing that men don't have feelings? We don't go through things like women do. We got emotions and stuff. Now, we are taught as men not to let them take us so far out the game that we can't, act and do things that need to happen. If we get so thrown off by emotions that we don't take care of business, that's a whole nother problem that we have to deal with. But rejection hurts us. Feeling like we're not getting the job done hurts us. All of this because we have, as men, we don't want to feel like we not getting the job done. I'm not just talking about sexually. I'm just talking about everything. Like if a man loses his job and you make him feel like less of a man because he lost his job, it's going to affect him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That rejection goes deep. So there's a lot of things that factor into the problems that men have. And we talk about men because we understand women have problems. And maybe one day we'll let y'all on so y'all tell us what y'all go through so we can get some understanding. But I don't think that we communicate enough what the problems are so that we together can fix it. And that's the thing that we got to start doing. We got to come together and, talk.
Mm-hmm.
People love to communicate, but are we communicating about the right things? It's cool to learn about what your coworker did and all this type of stuff, but if there's serious conversation that needs to be had, we got to have these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it about sex, especially for married people? What is it about sex that's like so taboo to talk about?
No, we don't never spend that much time talking about it.
That's so shameful. Yeah. Why is it so shameful to talk about sex? Who's married? It's you and him, supposedly.
Well, sex ain't never been one of the things we talked a lot about, though. It's not one of the things we talked that much about. It's never been.
Why not, though? And my thing is, especially like for Christians in the church, it's like a no-no. And it's like, you married, you're going to be able to communicate about things. But if there's so much shame about it, then people are not saying anything, what's going on. And then you wonder why so much mess is being behind the scenes is going on.
Mm-hmm.
But if you make people feel bad about it, you legal. You know what I'm saying? Married people, you legal. You should talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Clint said it's good to talk about it. May turn you on. Clint said the communication might be the spontaneity you need.
Mm-hmm.
Mika said, it sounds like women and men have a lot of the same problems or issues, but we don't have the critical conversations that can save relationships and marriages. I think she's right. I think she's right.
Well, it's hard though, D. If you don't talk like you do, like you're supposed to when you're dating, it's hard to pick that up. The longer you be together and starting to talk more, it's different. No, you gotta. That's what, man. People used to always say that. I mean, communication, and man, it is really important because there are so many different moving parts to relationship, and communication has to be key in all of them.
Yeah.
All of them. You know, you can't take no time off when you need to be talking about something, man. Because all it takes it's not the big things that causes problems in relationships. It's the small things. It's the things that are not being said.
Yeah. You just said a lot because we don't. Those are the things that get biased, and it's not until a big thing happens, the other person steps out, or we find messages in the phone, or we start noticing. That's the precursors we didn't miss. That's the big stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Because yes, you're right. Right. Because normally when the big stuff happens, it's some things behind that you can say, huh? There it is, right there. It's never to be right. It's absolutely not big. It's absolutely not big.
Yeah, and it shouldn't take an argument for it to come out. That's typically when it comes out.
Yeah,
in an argument.
Yeah,
I hate you and I'm leaving.
I'm gone. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Gotta be careful, people.
Yeah. Really?
Man, already, huh?
It went quick, didn't it?
Yeah. Here we go. Final thoughts.
All right. So my final thought for this evening is this. You better get up off of that thing. Whoever you are, you better do it while the doing is good. Because it ain't gonna stay good. Whether it's age or whether it's health issues, you better do it while the doing is doing and good now. Listen, you can take these times for granted all you want, but Father Time is undefeated. Father Time is undefeated. So when the show go off, go in there and do what you do like you doing when you had did that. That's my final thought.
There's a lot that goes on in relationships, marriage. If you are together for any number of years, there's so many dynamics. Life events happen, tragedies happen, people's bodies change, physical things happen health-wise, and mentally people go through things. So if you're not talking, then there's a lot of air there. Because we talk about clearing the air. The air is the problem. The only way to clear the air is to talk, is to communicate. And one final thing, you can't be afraid to do more than the other person. Remember, my mom used to tell my sisters all the time, she used to get mad at them. She's like, one of y'all ain't cleaned up because one of y'all afraid the other one gonna do more than the next person. But that's what sacrifice, that's what love is. Love is doing more than the other person if necessary. Because it's all about what the other person's doing. Nobody's ever maximizing the benefits of the relationship. Everybody's holding back. Yeah, it's risky. Take the risk. Go ahead and do it, not because of what you're receiving from that person. Do it because you want that person to know how much they mean to you. A lot of times they require sacrifice. So you got to ask yourself, are you willing to make the sacrifice for that other person? Think about it. And that's our King Speak for this week. There we go. Another one in the books. Hold up. There we go. All right. I had you muted. Go ahead.
I looked up and time was flying, man. It was flying.
Yeah. So we'll definitely appreciate everybody that jumped on tonight. Appreciate all the comments. You having this conversation with us. Don't forget, you can go to check out our podcast, subscribe to our podcast, go to Apple, Google, Spotify, wherever you go to listen to podcasts, make sure you go check us out and let somebody else know about what we're doing. Like, share, subscribe, tell people you're watching on YouTube, go click that bell so you know when we come on. Facebook, go to our page, Man Talk Mondays, and you know what I'm saying? Share it with somebody. Let them know we got something good going. If you feel like we got something good, let them know.
Yeah, do that.
I think you'll be pleased.
Yeah. Information is only as good as the people that are willing to share it. So let's share it with some people that you know. If y'all know this good, y'all know we have some good stuff. Because if y'all thought we wouldn't, y'all wouldn't be tuning in with us. Y'all tell somebody about it. Help somebody else eat.
Right.
If y'all don't listen to us every week and ain't gonna do nothing with it, help somebody else, y'all.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you. Don't forget, we're here 7 o'clock every Monday. Come back, join us. We got a good one for y'all next week. Next week, we're talking about what happened to the chase. All you single women, we want you to tune in. We want to know why the men ain't coming for you no more. Why they ain't doing. What happened to it? What happened to the chase? That's what we talk about next week. Tell all your friends. We'll be back next week. Ladies and gentlemen, catch y'all. Peace out.